Hey, Maddie, did you start the popcorn?
It's going right now. Is the movie ready to go?
I'm just waiting on you guys.
Zosha, are the rooms cleaned up?
Yeah, we're just finishing Amelia's room.
Thank you. Yaya, are you helping?
Yes, Cheeseburger Cat is helping too.
All right, well, when you're done cleaning up, put your jammies on. It's movie night.
Hello, this is Mommy.
What's up, everyone? I'm Daddy.
Hi, I'm Sosha and I'm 7 years old. Hi, I'm Amelia and I'm 5 years old. And this week we watched Elemental.
Walt Disney and Pixar Studios put out this animation this year, 2023. It's rated PG and has a runtime of 1 hour and 43 minutes. Another film Disney put out around this time is the live-action Little Mermaid, and the latest Pixar movie was Lightyear.
This movie takes place in Elemental City, a place where all the elements live: earth, wind, fire, and water. When Ember, a fire, runs into an issue, the only person that could help her is Wade, a water. However, fire and water do not work well together. Or do they?
Some familiar voices in this movie. Ember is voiced by Leah Lewis. She is the voice of Batgirl in the Batwheel series, and she plays Georgia Fan in the Nancy Drew series. Wade is voiced by Mamadou Athie. I apologize if I butchered your name. He is Ramsey in Jurassic World Dominion. Bernie is voiced by Ronnie Del Carmen. He has some small voice parts in Inside Out and Soul, but he's mostly from the art department in animations such as Batman the Animated Series, The Road to El Dorado, Shrek, and Coco, to name a few. Gail is voiced by Wendy McClendon Covey. She is Nancy Green in Big City Greens. Parents, you'll know her as Beverly Goldberg from The Goldbergs, or Rita in Bridesmaids.
Brooke, who is Wade's mother, is voiced by Catherine O'Hara. She's mostly known as Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas and Kate McAllister from Home Alone. The director of this movie is Peter San. He directed The Good Dinosaur, and he also is the voice of the pet collector in that movie. And fun fact, he's also the voice of Socks from Lightyear and Emile from Ratatouille.
Amelia, did you learn anything from Elemental?
Yes.
What did you learn?
If you're on fire, be careful of water.
Ooh, what'll happen?
The water we put the fire out.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. We don't need anybody's candle getting dimmed, you know what I mean? Zosha, what about you? Did you get anything from Elemental?
I learned that you can make glass out of fire and sand.
Yeah, then that happens in real life. It's pretty cool. I remember this the most from the movie Sweet Home Alabama.
I was going to get to it, yeah.
Yes, when the lightning strikes the beach and you dig through the sand, you can find whatever glass forms beneath it. So that is pretty cool.
That's pretty crazy.
Daddy, did you learn anything?
I learned how much healthier open communication is. Ember has an issue with her dad that she doesn't want to bring up to him, so she continues on the path that she doesn't really want to. For you girls to understand it a little better, so if we gave you guys ice cream and you said, I like it, Mommy and Daddy will continue to buy that same ice cream. But if you guys just had open communication and said, no, I don't like it, then we would never buy that ice cream again. And I think that's the easiest analogy for kids to understand is like, hey, just tell me you don't like it and we just won't get that anymore. I do this all the time at work. I'll set up expectations for people that I work for or for foremen that I'm on. I'm just like, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I can't do. So don't expect that out of me, out of the column of I can't do these things. But yeah, open communication is what I learned.
Much, much healthier, especially living amongst family members. You need to have that open line of communication.
Absolutely. How about you, Mommy? What did you learn from this movie?
I learned that just because the odds are stacked against you, it doesn't mean you can't succeed. This goes for multiple issues in the movie, but I'm going to focus on the more spoiler-free one with Wade and Ember. Everything says that they shouldn't go together, but they do. They're a great match, and it transfers to real life that backgrounds, ethnicity, race doesn't matter. When you find love, love is love.
That is a good lesson to have learned. So speaking of all the different elements in the movie, I would like to know what we would all choose to be. Zosha, you go first. Would you rather be earth, fire, water, or wind?
Water.
You'd pick water? Why would you choose water?
Because I want a water house and I like swimming.
A water house and like swimming. What's a water house?
When they go to Wade's parents' house, it's a cool house.
Oh,
or Wade's
okay.
mom's house.
Okay, yeah, I do remember the scene. Okay, all right, I got you. I was like, water house? What is that? Okay, good pick.
Emily, what would you be? I would be water. Why water? Because I can go into sponges and slip through cracks.
They are very versatile. That scene is funny when Wade gets sucked into a sponge and you just see the eyes. He's like, it took me hours to get out of there.
Yeah, that was his biggest fear, right?
He was scared, but I like it.
Okay, yeah.
Mommy, what will you be?
I would go Earth so I can finally experience all the things that I'm allergic to. Mommy, I can't really go by trees and have a picnic in the grass and grow flowers because it just makes me sneeze. So I would want to be an Earth person. What about you, Daddy?
Mine is Earth as well, actually.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, mostly because I can't maintain our yard. So having the power to make grass or flowers appear would be so great. Here in Illinois, we get days of 100 degrees and then we get no rain for a while. And when we don't get sunlight in certain areas, we have grass and patches that just die. So if I can just keep that stuff alive, that'd be great. And maybe even throw in a few like strawberry bushes or like some pineapples. That'd be pretty cool to have.
Cultivate, man. Make our own farm.
Yeah.
Who's everybody's favorite character? Mama, you go first.
My favorite character is Wade because he's just unapologetically himself. He doesn't care that he is openly crying almost everywhere that he goes. Like, it's one of those things that you're like, wow, this person might be annoying, but he doesn't care. He's just like, this is me. This is who I am. And his mom's that way too. Like, he comes from a good family.
The whole family give the waterworks with crying the whole movie.
They do, and it's just, it's sweet. It's sweet that Wade and everybody in his family doesn't mind that people are themselves, whether they're earth, fire, water, or a cloud.
Yeah, I think the water people were the most accepting out of any of the elements.
Agreed. Zosha, who was your favorite character?
My favorite character is Ember because she makes glass art and it's very beautiful.
Yes, there's a scene where a water pitcher breaks, and then what happens, Zosha?
She says, oh, I can fix that, and then she puts all the pieces together.
Yeah, and she heats her hands up and melts it all into one piece. It actually is really beautiful.
So, Amelia, who was your favorite character?
Cloud because he's funny because he grows flowers out of his armpits.
He does grow flowers out of his armpits. What does he do with them?
He gives them to Ember because he says, my queen.
My queen. Would you want somebody's armpit flower?
No.
No? Do you think it would smell? Or because it's a flower, would it smell good? Crisscross.
Yeah, Claude is constantly trying to impress Ember because Ember's maybe, 16 in the movie is what you would guess. And
I would guess more like 18.
And then Claude is this 10 to 11-year-old boy who is just trying to, impress the older girl. And it's super funny. It's cute.
Daddy, who is your favorite character?
My favorite character is Bernie, who is Ember's dad. He's just a sweet yet stubborn old man who works really hard and does everything he can to make sure that his family is happy. And that's what I try to do. Take care of all of you and make sure that you're all happy and have a better life than I did when I was a kid. And that's exactly what Bernie does. So I love Bernie.
So anytime Ember got overwhelmed or upset, she would turn purple instead of red and then burst. She would explode. And this always seemed to be triggered by customers at the store. I'm curious, what is something that makes you burst no matter how hard you try to fight it? For example, I'll go first. I cannot stand when people stop in the middle of a walkway to discuss their next move. And then coinciding with that, when people don't follow the state of the right rule for traffic flow, I have gotten quite purple while in Disney World, that's for sure.
Yeah, Disney's probably one of the biggest places to have those issues.
Even at the mall or the grocery store, when people are coming down the left lane of the grocery store, I'm like, what are you doing? To the right, rate of play.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because people know when you drive on the right side.
Yes.
So when you're walking down,
it's the same
walking
courtesy
towards me on the right side, that's an issue. I don't even want to see those people drive.
Or people who make eye contact with you and can tell that they're walking right into you but don't move at all. That's one of my bugaboos.
That could do it for sure.
So let's round table it. Amelia, what is something that you just can't help? It makes you want to explode.
When Shosha tells me how to play and it's bossy.
Oof, I've heard many of these explosions. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, Zosha, I don't want to do that. No, Zosha, I want to try it this way.
I want to play however I want to play. I hear that a lot. I see Zosha smiling. What's your answer? Go ahead. What makes Zosha explode?
Amelia, because she rearranges my Barbies.
Yeah, they got to be a certain way, right?
Yeah.
How do you set up your Barbies that Amelia messes it up?
I just put them on things and Amelia just puts them on the floor.
Ah, okay. So you like them set up to be displayed.
Yeah.
Okay. Amelia, stop doing that. And Zosha, stop being bossy.
Daddy, what makes you angry?
Something that would make me explode is when people don't speed up to merge onto the highway. I leave for work super early in the morning. And if I'm driving, sometimes I gotta drive 45 minutes away. I won't say a single word. And that is such a relaxing morning. But the moment somebody goes right in front of me and doesn't speed up to go onto a 65 mile per hour highway, I am 0 to 100 angry at these people. And I'm yelling at them and they can't hear me. But for some reason, it makes me feel better. So yes, that is what would make me purple.
I think driving would be a big trigger for a lot of people.
Yeah, probably.
Let us know. Is driving your biggest trigger?
Yeah.
What is everybody's favorite scene? Amelia, you go first.
When they were playing the crying game and the mom and the brother cried right away.
They did. So the object of the game is to not cry because they're a family that's so emotional. And it was one of those moments where it was like, what was even the point of playing? They both start bawling immediately.
Yeah, when they're playing, they get really intense into it. And Ember gives them a run for their money because they usually don't have to go that deep because they cry right away. But Ember explains to them before they even play that she has never cried in her entire life. So this is a really good scene.
She's a tough cookie. She's fire.
Mommy, what was your favorite scene?
So I love the entire opening sequence showing Ember's parents coming to Element City and how it mirrors Ellis Island. They go through customs and the officer can't understand their names, so he changes them to Bernie and Cinder, and it's much like many of the people who came through Ellis Island, and I like that real life transformation there. I thought that was very cleverly done.
Yeah, for history buffs, I'm sure that they would love that.
Zosha, what was your favorite part?
I like when Ember makes the glass wall out of sandbags.
Yeah, so while we were watching the movie, you said that it reminded you of something. What did it remind you of?
The dam in Frozen 2.
Yeah, so in Frozen 2, there's this big dam by Arendelle that needs to be destroyed rather than created because it is blocking the flow from the Northuldra people, and it's destroying the magic. So this is the opposite. Rather than destroying a dam, we need to put one up so it does not destroy Fire City.
Daddy, what's your favorite scene?
I like the scene where Wade is in the basement of Ember's family shop, and this is when Ember and Wade are already friends. So they have to convince Ember's dad that he's not there to shut them down. He's just a regular food inspector, and he goes up the stairs and he has to try their food, but it's all food made for fire people, so it's super hot. And he's like, no, I eat this all the time. It's delicious. But you could definitely see, because it's boiling his water.
I was going to say, yeah, his face is boiling.
It's super funny scene. I loved it.
It was cute. It's like the same thing. Like Maddie really likes hot sauces, so it's probably like the equivalent to when Maddie meets someone that says, yeah, I can handle my heat. And he's like, but can you?
Yes, I do love hot sauces.
Is that a challenge? So I want to finish this off with, what is your Vivisteria? One of Ember's biggest desires was to see this rare flower that can exist amongst all the elements, but she wasn't able to achieve this dream until years later. What is something that you really want to see or experience in life? Daddy.
I would really like to stand in a spot that a beautiful screensaver picture was taken. So like to be in Bora Bora, where they take those really nice water hut pictures that you see on brochures, or to be on an icy mountain to see where they took the picture of the aurora lights over the mountaintops.
Or all the Mac screensavers and backgrounds.
Yeah, like they're just super beautiful and nice and just gorgeous. I would love to be in those, to stand in those spots. It'd be great.
So this might be a fun laugh for everybody who grew up on that Windows 98, but when you said like screensaver or background, the first one that came into my mind was like the farm green with like the clouds in the background.
Yeah.
That was the first image that popped in my head.
No.
I'm like, I mean, it's not a great place, but it's not a bad place.
Hey, if that's my Vivisteria, you can't take that away from me.
No, own it. Go to that farm.
Zosha, what is your Vivisteria?
I would want to experience surfing and catching an ocean wave.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. I've always been super entranced in movies when people go through the tunnel.
Yes.
That's super cool. That would be an awesome experience, Zosha. Good pick.
Zosha, would you bring along a waterproof Bluetooth speaker to play Hawaiian roller coaster ride?
No.
I feel like that would just make the experience. But who am I? This is your Vivisteria.
Missed opportunities. Amelia, what would your Vivisteria be?
I want a real-life Barbie dream house with 3 kittens.
Would you have the big pink slide too?
Yes.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
Mommy, what would your Vivisteria be?
So my Vivisteria, I should be achieving in the next few months unless something goes horribly wrong. I have always wanted to go to Alaska. I've wanted to go there since I was little, but I have parents that do not do cold anything. We've always had to go to the beach or somewhere tropical on vacation, so I have never gotten to see the West Coast anything. So in a few months, Maddie and I are doing a bucket list for our 10-year wedding anniversary, and we are going to fly into Canada, and we're doing an Alaskan cruise. And I cannot wait. I will probably sob. It's going to be wonderful. Yep. I can't wait to go somewhere cold and see the northern lights and the whales and the bears, and it'll be a dream come true.
Yes, the girls are coming with us as well, and that's just going to be a great experience.
So I'm sorry, Zosha, you can't quite catch an ocean wave there, but maybe we could see some whales. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, good.
So parents, this was another week where we all haven't seen this movie. So this movie came out in June this year, and it's the beginning of summer, and we were just super busy with activities. Otherwise, we would have seen this in theaters because we always usually see the Disney movies in theaters. So some positives, the city looks cool, especially with all the colors of the elements mixed in. The story and the concept is unique. It could hook people in, like, how would all these different elements live together? Would they segregate into their own areas, or would they actually commingle? So it was really cool to see that outcome. Some negatives. The animation is just fine. Usually Pixar ups the ante for their films, but I never once said to myself that anything looked gorgeous. The last time I actually remember doing that for Disney was in Frozen 2, when you actually see the hair and the fibers in the clothes. It's just crazy. And then also, this might just be for me, but I was super bored with the first half of this movie. And it's obviously necessary because you need it to set everything up and to introduce the characters, but the second half was just way better and entertaining and heartfelt. As for an age recommendation, all ages. I think infants and toddlers could like the colors and the movements, preschoolers and middle schoolers will think that it's a fun movie, and then teens and adults are just going to make their own pros and cons list, but I think all ages can watch this movie.
Agreed. The language in it is very, very light. There is some name calling and a clever pun about a fire person, but otherwise it's appropriate for all ages. There is no violence in this movie. Ember explodes when she gets angry, but it's not directed towards people. It's more about her not being able to control her emotions. Other elements discriminate against the fire people, but it's nothing physical. Some grown-up stuff. There is a part when Ember's dad says, "Mom and I have more time for hanky-panky." Goes right over little kids' heads, but you're like, ooh. There is also a point where Wade calls Ember hot, but it's not intended to be flirtatious, and it makes for an awkward but funny scene. Some cry factor. There is a scene that got Maddie and I both. We looked at each other and it was like, hi. But it is a beautiful moment between Ember and her dad.
For rankings, Rotten Tomato critics have this certified fresh at 74%, which is still a thumbs middle. Audiences give it a 93%, which is a thumbs up. Let's see how it holds up in our house. Zosha, do you give Elemental a thumbs up, a thumbs middle, or a thumbs down?
100 thumbs up.
Wow. That's a lot of thumbs up.
Okay.
Amelia, what do you give this movie?
100 thumbs up.
All right, we're on the same page.
Mommy, what do you give this movie?
I'm going thumbs middle. It is a good movie. It has wonderful lessons from it, but there are so many more stacked Pixar movies that I would rather watch. What about you, Daddy?
I'm going thumbs down on this one. Like you had said, there's other Pixar movies that are just better. It's not the worst Pixar movie, but I would never turn this movie on. If the girls have it on, I'll watch it, but I did not enjoy it. Maybe the last 10 minutes I could rewatch over and over and over again, but other than that, not a fan. Thumbs down.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It did have a slow start, but yeah.
So in theaters, Pixar movies always have a short film. For this movie, it was Carl's Date, Carl being the old man character from the movie Up. We watched it after the movie. How did you like it, Zosha? Did you like Carl's Date?
No.
You did not? Okay. Amelia, did you like Carl's Date?
No.
Mommy, did you like Carl's Date?
I did until the last 30 seconds where I had tears down in my belly button. Anybody who has a grandfather that lost grandma young and goes to watch this movie, it destroys you. What about you, Daddy?
I liked it a bunch because I enjoy the Up franchise, all the little shorts and everything that come out with it. So I love these characters. The fact that they're showing Carl and he's moving on in a way that it just seems realistic. These are things that happen, especially like you had said, if you have a grandparent that loses their significant other at a young age, you kind of feel like it's necessary to move on. So for these characters and for Disney to be showing that these are real life things that happen, I thought it was a beautiful short film.
And funny because it's Doug. Doug always puts a little lightheartedness on it.
Oh yeah, Doug's a blast. And if any of you would like to add Elemental or Carl's Date to your movie night list, they are currently streaming on Disney+.
And after watching, let us know if you give it thumbs up, thumbs middle, or thumbs down.
And when you want to let us know what you think about the movie, please find us on social media. We like to post pictures of us on our movie nights, letting you know what snacks and sweets we're eating. We post a dad joke as well as a sneak peek clip themed to the episode coming out that week. It's a fun place to hang out.
Our Facebook is It's Movie Night, and our Instagram is It's Movie Night Pod. Thank you for listening. Join us next week for another movie night. Bye.
Zombie Nation.